Good morning, you guys. I hope you guys are having a lovely morning. It's like almost 5 o'clock, so 5 o'clock a.m. right now. I'm here. Where am I? I believe I'm here in Virginia. So this video is pretty much going to be about, a lot of times when you come from this small to grow up to be this, an adult, depending on how rebellious you was or depending on just how misbehaved you were, you can have certain adults that really should have been building you up and taking the patience with you to kind of groom you into a confident adult. They can say things like, man, you such a bad kid. You will never amount to nothing. You such a bad kid. You probably going to be in jail by the age of 15. Oh, you such a bad kid. I bet you probably going to drop out. Oh, you're such a bad kid. I feel sorry for your mama that had you. She should have had an abortion. Like, it's so many different things that crazy adults themselves that probably didn't amount to nothing will end up saying to a child, and sometimes it can stick with you because, obviously if you are a little kid, you are very programmable. You are very like a sponge, from infant stage to about, toddler or, once they go into becoming a child, they're very impressionable to where whatever they see, whatever they do is getting programmed into their little brains because the brains are developing from infant stage up into adulthood. And a lot of times, kids can be misunderstood because when they go from like 13 all the way up to probably 23, 25, they trying to figure out who they are. Like, they might have trial and error. Some kids are more difficult than others, but that don't mean they will never be anything. A lot of times kids need that encouragement. Just like you have a whole football team and maybe it's some people on a football team that's doing things that can sabotage the team. It's that coach's job to speak life into the team and to speak encouragement into the team to where the team be like, what, I didn't think I could do it, but I can do it now. But then when they get reaffirmations that they're not much or they'll never amount to be nothing, if a kid keeps hearing that over and over, even if a person, because you can really be grown, and if somebody keep pumping and pumping negativity into your mind, after a while you'll start to question yourself to be like, dang, am I really a sucky person? Like, I must not really be much because everybody I run into keeps saying it, or the people that mean the most to me are saying stuff that I never would have thought would say that. So whatever they say must hold weight because I have high respect for this person. So whatever they say must have some truth to it because this person I really highly respect. So, a lot of times you have to just kind of go through your mental garbage, because I really look at that to be garbage because it's not true. But when you are a child, a toddler, an infant, a teenager, even a young adult, you don't know the difference from what you was taught coming up. And a lot of times when you was taught something coming up, it is really hard to kick it. So, that being said, some parents or even teachers or of course, police officers that might, or just anybody in your community that is putting that poison, because it's poison, into your head, or they did put it into your head when you were little. You have to kind of just learn to reprogram. And learning to reprogram is, first of all, self-love. You have to learn that no matter if somebody don't love you or not, that the fact that you're learning to love things about yourself, that should be enough. And a lot of times self-love is not taught, especially if you're being told that you'll never amount to nothing. That's really self-sabotage after a while. And it takes for maybe a special mentor or a special big brother or big sister to come into your life and to, take time with you to let you know, you are somebody. And this is one gospel song, and I believe it's called He Saw the Best in Me. When I forgot the exact words, I'm not going to embarrass myself. But it's mainly saying that when everybody seems to see the worst in you, God always sees the best in you. And that's another thing too. Not only should self-love be efficient, a lot of times kids are not being taught God anymore. So a lot of this generation is straying further and further away from, I don't know if you could call it religion or just to say God, but they're straying away from any type of structure regarding a spiritual sense to where the mindset and the actions of an individual is so immoral, or they can be so just persuaded to go a different way that is sad. So if you ground yourself, I'm not going to say religiously, because religion to me reminds me of a gang. Some religions believe this and believe that, and it can be confusing. So you have to learn spiritual growth to where if you strengthen your spirit by worshiping with the same people that believe in what you do and that is positive like you are, and is not about, the trash talk or putting negativity in your mind, that can build your spirit up to where now you're spiritually strong to remold your mind from all the the trash that got put in your mind by crazy adults or adults that maybe had trash put into their mind. So sometimes things can truly be a generational curse, because the same adults that may have put that in your mind, they either probably was verbally abused like that when they were younger, or maybe they have a bias to where it could be racism, it could be sexism, it could be some type of ism to where that ism, they're taking it out on you. And sometimes though, even though that phrase of "you will never amount to nothing" can destroy people as adults, but it can also build them up. Because I ain't gonna lie, when I was young, I've had a lot of people, and people that were close to me, that always told me, man, you're not gonna be nothing when you get older. When you get older, because you got kids and this and that, you're not gonna have nothing. And I proved them wrong. I'm doing, for the ones that did say that to me and about me, I truly feel like I'm outshining them, but they'll never give me the credit. But it's not about that, because at the end of the day, I have peace within myself to have the self-love that I've learned over the years to build, and even just to have the spirit. I've always had spiritual guidance. My mom always raised me and my siblings in church, so that's one gift that I've always had from a kid up till now. And I truly believe that spiritual strength that I've had has, saved me from, a lot of maybe just believing in the garbage of "you'll never amount to nothing." And then you have to also be careful too, because a lot of times if you're in an abusive relationship, like let's just say you're a woman and you with this abusive guy, and one of his power tools is to verbally, kick you down to make you have low self-esteem or no confidence. Because a person that has no self-esteem or low confidence, they are the main ones that can be manipulated to either just do what the abuser wants you to do, or to keep you trapped mentally. Because if that person can get you trapped mentally, they got you trapped physically. Because if they can't get here, they can't have all this, because with the mind comes action. So if your mind is not breakable, then you're not going to comply to what they're trying to get you to do. So you have to learn your self-worth, and part of learning self-worth is getting to know yourself. And you'd be surprised that a simple question as "who are you?" You'd be surprised at how many people can't fully answer that question of who they are, because they really just don't know who they are. And a lot of young people really don't know that. Like teenagers, if you ask a teenager right now, who are you? Like, who are you? Like, what makes you you? They can't answer that. Even people in their 30s, some people in their 40s, when you get about almost 50, you start to learn what you can tolerate. Like, you get to know yourself hopefully by then. But a lot of people can't answer that question, because you'd be surprised how many people are in their body day in and day out, but don't know what they like, don't know what they dislike, don't know what they want. They don't know what they would do in this situation, that situation. So, when nobody sees the best in you, just know the good Father above, God, sees the best in everyone that's doing the right thing. Now, grant, you do have a good side and you have a bad side. So I'm only referring to the ones that are doing right by human beings. You doing your part in the world to do right by people as a community or just as a human race. I ain't talking about the evildoers, because you got so many evildoers that are here to destroy. They are here to make lives difficult. They are here to kill and destroy. That's part of Satan's crew. That's all Satan is here for, is to kill and destroy. That is his primary job, is to kill and destroy souls. So, a lot of times you can be scared of physical death, but I really feel like the main thing that people probably should be scared of is spiritual death. Because if you lose your spirit to just immoral things, or you know, things that's of the, I'm not even going to say that, but things that's just evil, you are selling out your soul. And once your soul is gone, it's gone for an eternity. So you really, it goes back to the video I made that it says, which side are you on? And I talk about the good side and the bad side. So like I said, it really boils down to just spiritual growth, spiritual strength, because as you get older, your mind is a bit more formed to where when you were a teenager, you know, teenagers lack the ability to see long term. Like, it's not that they lack it because, like, I'm trying to say that as an insult. They lack it because that part of their brain is not developed into adult stage to evaluate long-term consequences or long-term goals. The only thing that most teenagers think of is the pleasure of right now. Like, I'm in this moment, I'm just worrying about right now. So, you know, it just comes with just support. It comes with being around the right people and just having hopefully the right parents. But you know, a lot of people nowadays are so broken, man. It just really it trickles down into the next generation of children we have. So, you know, a lot of times in order to fix something, the only way you can fix it is if you're aware of it. So if you're not aware of what you're doing, like some parents might not know that they talking their child into a trap of low self-esteem, or they don't know that they might be destroying this kid life when he get older with all the verbal insults or with all the verbal just negativity that you're doing. And Grant, I understand sometimes some kids are very rebellious. Some kids are very hard to raise, to where as a parent you can get very frustrated and certain things will come out that you probably couldn't catch it from coming out because you're just that mad because the kid is doing this or doing that, or you just so upset that the only thing you probably can do is throw some words at the kid instead of probably punching the child in the face or physically hurting the child. Because some kids will take you there, especially when they become teenagers. But when a child gets in their teenage years, I feel like that's the very crucial part of building them up, because they don't know who they are. So when they get, you know, into the teenage stage, that's the time where they're trying to figure out who they are, what they want to do with their life, what they want to be in their career. Like, they're really trying their hardest to figure things out. So if anything is coming from daddy or mommy or even the uncle, grandma, whoever is that special person in their life, whatever they say, they take that stuff really serious because they highly respect that person. So whether the person is saying something rotundous as, you just a dirty kid, you will never be anything in your life because you don't have no talent, you don't have no skills, your hair nappy, your teeth suck, you just an ugly kid, blah, blah. It's so much stuff that some of these parents throw at these kids to where they just don't realize that you tearing that child down for their adulthood. And some kids will take it, run with it, and twist it around to where they'll use that as their fire to just show them, I'm going to prove you wrong. But then most kids, you know, they hold on to that to where sometimes they don't become nothing right away. It's not to say that they won't, but some kids, it affects them through their whole life. Even though they might have got past, you know, eventually falling, they did get up to where eventually they did become successful. But some kids could have been successful a lot quicker in their life if they just would have got more encouragement. Like, if they never would have got talked down to about saying that you'll never be anything, maybe they would have been successful as soon as they turned 22 or 23. Because by 22 or 23, that's enough time to where you should at least have your bachelor's degree by then. Maybe 22, it depends on how quick you get through college, especially if you go straight to college out of high school. So, you know, that being said, you know, us as parents, we truly need to take on the responsibility to build our children up, and especially with words. Because, you know, they got a saying to where they always tell kids, you know, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words do not hurt. Words hurt when it's coming from your mama. Words hurt depending on what it is. It hurt if it's coming from daddy. And it hurts if it's coming from your teacher. Because, you know, sometimes some teachers don't need to be teaching, because some of these teachers, they probably just teach for a paycheck. And I wouldn't even say that, because I really feel like teachers are underpaid anyway. So, you know, a lot of stuff that they have to endure just to do their job is kind of like a catch-22, because, you know, they get frustrated with the kids, and by them not being able to do what they need to do, especially if they have real rebellious kids in their class. I can kind of understand the situation they're in, but they still should never have the authority to even throw any of those type of words out, because if you don't have the mental tough skin to deal with these kids, then maybe you're in the wrong profession is all I'm saying. If you feel like you're not getting paid enough, then get out the profession, because you know, bad enough the kids may be bad, and then you're gonna just make them some you know, really bad adults, because you putting these words in their mind and they looking up to you or trying to look up to you, and now you just killing their dreams with the words you feeding in their mind. So, you know, it's so much that can be said, but a lot of times you just got to be patient. You have to just read, do your research, you know, do your part in the world to show your love, and just, you know, just take it one day at a time, one person at a time. You know, look at yourself in the mirror and just start with doing your part, because at the end of the day, that's all you can do, and that's all I'm doing. So I already took about 16 minutes of y'all time, and I'm tired. I'm sure y'all can see it in my face, so I'm about to lay it on down, and hopefully I can try to go live later on once I get up, because I haven't been live in a while, and I want to talk to you guys because I miss you guys. I haven't talked to everybody. So I give shouts out to you, Sharon girl. You text me to check on me. That is so sweet. I love your heart, and I text you that too. You so sweet. And I hope you feel better, Gary. I hope you feel better. You know, I'm not going to tell the situation, but I hope you feel better, man. So shouts out to you, Gary, and shouts out to you, Sharon, and D Will. So I'll be talking to y'all soon. So time is of the essence, everybody. Let's love each other, not judge each other. No more talking about you'll never amount to nothing, because we all have potential. Grant, everybody has their weaknesses, and some people do have some things they need to work on. But in order for us to get better and work on, we need encouragement, we need inspiration, we need somebody that can say, you know, just because you fell, you get up and try again. So that's right. So time is the essence. Let's love each other, not judge each other, because I never judge y'all. So I love y'all. So good morning, or should I say good night, because I'm about to be like, so deuces, everybody. Deuces.